Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Fuksa with Foote Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. How is everybody doing today? Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. Earlier this week, we talked a little bit about escrow accounting, escrow funds, and we actually had a special guest, Carol Fry, with escrow reconciliation services on our live broadcast. As title agents, title company people that do the closings at the title company, we have to actually get credits to learn new information, updated information to make sure that we understand all of the new changes and nuances that are happening in our industry to make sure we're taking good care and protecting your home ownership. And because of that, we have to go to classes to keep our license up. And I was actually at a class on Tuesday, and Carol was one of the presenters and did a fantastic job. And so we really thought it would be cool to have her on with us. I know the broadcast was a little bit crazy. We were trying to do it in the middle of an impromptu kind of situation, and so I apologize for the fuzziness. So I really just wanted to go to that a little more detail today, just to give you a little bit more information about what happens to that money that you bring to your closing. So her company was Escrow Account Reconciliations. Escrow is the protected account that the money you bring to closing goes into, and it's protected because the only thing those funds can be used for is for that closing. And so there are some very specific regulations that determine what can happen to money that goes in for those types of things. And that's why it's called escrow. Escrow is a protected savings account that the funds have to be used for that specific thing. So in this particular case, the escrow account is the account that the title company has that they put all of the money from your closing into, and then they pay all of the bills out of. So when you go to closing and you're asked to bring, let's say, for example, $15,000, ooh, sorry about that, the way that that number is determined will be discussed with you at closing, and more than likely very much so before closing. And then when you come to closing, you actually have to bring those funds, or you wire those funds in. More than likely in today's environment, you're going to be wiring those funds to that title company, and that's a conversation for another day. But that title company takes that money from you, puts it into their escrow account, and that escrow or savings account can only be used for your file to make sure that your funds are paid out as it's shown on the disclosures that you sign at your closing. So the title company is the company that takes care of making sure all that money goes in the right places and pays all the bills for you. So a title company's job is several different items, and one of those happens to be to manage that money and make sure all of those bills are paid properly. Hey there, Jeff. How are you this morning? Thanks for tuning in. So the escrow account is the savings account that the title company creates for your file, where they take in the funds and then pay out all the bills that they've discussed with you at that closing. No funds can go anywhere else other than exactly what was disclosed on there. And so we are audited every year by the companies that we write insurance for that protects your home ownership. And so those companies are checking to make sure that we aren't doing anything that we're not supposed to be with those escrow funds. And what Carol was talking about the other day is a lot of times at closing, there will be expenses that have to do with the closing that we may not know exactly what that number is. For example, a water escrow. And when a seller is selling a property and they're on a public water system, we have to get the final water bill. Otherwise, the water company can shut that water off on you as the new buyer. And we don't know what that number is, and we won't know until a couple days after closing. And so usually the title company will collect an escrow amount, a number. In a lot of cases, it's $200 to $300, depending on the jurisdictions. And so that title company will get that water bill and pay that bill out of that escrow and then refund you the difference. Well, what Carol was talking about is her job is to go into title companies and help make sure that any excess funds are actually getting paid out. Because sometimes after the closing, you may find that there was money collected and the title company is going through all the processes to make sure everything's refunded, but maybe there was one that wasn't. And so Carol's job is to come in and try to help out making sure all that money gets to the proper place. Hey there, Mark. How are you this morning? Hope you're starting to feel better. Thank you very much for your feedback. Always just trying to help get information out there because this is such a confusing process. So thank you for your feedback. So the escrow is, if you hear somebody say that in the real estate environment, it is a savings account that is set up just for your file and just only to be used to take in money and pay out bills for your particular transaction. So hopefully that cleared up that little confusing word and some of the things we talked about on Tuesday with Carol. And if you have more questions about this, let me know. I love helping you with those questions. Or if you know somebody that may be going through this process, or maybe you don't know somebody going through this process, but maybe somebody is in your arena and you just don't know it, please hit that share button, because right now is a really hot time in the real estate market and a lot of people are thinking about buying and selling. And so some of the stuff we talk about is definitely valuable information to somebody you know. It may not be you, because I have people all the time say to me, well, I'm not buying or selling a house right now. Okay, well, somebody you know might be. And also you may be buying or selling something in the near future that you didn't even know about. So all I like to try to do is give you information and give you the ability to at least spur a question in your mind, and certainly know that the resources there that you can reach out to us and ask any of those questions. So any of our team in Maryland or Virginia can help you with any of those kind of questions. Thank you so much for tuning in to Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Fuksa with Foote Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.